All right, welcome to General Psychology Online. Since we won't be meeting in a traditional face-to-face classroom setting, I thought it might be helpful if I created a welcome type navigational video to help you get started in this course. So two tabs that you want to have open at all times for when you decide to complete work in this course would be D2L, which is what you're looking at right now, and MyPsychLab. These are two websites that you want to have open. They're two separate websites, but they are both required components of this course. So always have both of these open as you get ready to complete work in this course. My name is Mrs. Christy Cunningham. A lot of people call me Mrs. C. That's up to you, however you'd like to address me, Mrs. Cunningham or Mrs. C. I will be interacting with you all semester through our two places that you will see me communicating through D2L. And also email. Email is always a mode of communication. You will see me communicate with you through our announcements board, which is where I've welcomed you to this course, and I will be posting reminder messages here, anything I need to tell the class, how you're doing, how you're progressing as a class, helpful feedback, those type of things will be posted here in the announcements section. The second way I'll be communicating with you all semester is through the discussion thread. So with the discussions thread, we'll be working together. You're going to have 15 discussion posts total this semester. I've already posted for my week 1 discussion post 1. This is about your expectations for the course, and I've gone ahead and posted mine here. You'll notice that beside my name you see a picture of me. I would really appreciate it if you would take the time when you log into this course to mouse on over to Class List and set up your profile. It's a very easy thing to do, and once you get in here and set up your profile, you can go into here. When you click on your name, you'll see the word profile, and you can walk through the steps so you're literally filling in blanks and downloading a picture of yourself. The class list will show everyone in the class, and if you have a picture, your picture will pop up, and this is how you can read other people's profiles. So it's almost like a Facebook part of the class, just to be able to see people's faces and some of their interests and things like that. I would really appreciate it if you would go ahead and post a picture of yourself in your profile, because it helps me to know you as a person, not just a name on a screen. So we will be communicating with each other through the discussion post, through the announcements page, and then also you can count on me to respond to email. Your lifeline to me is this PSCC Outlook right here. That takes you directly to Outlook email, and that is the most direct way to contact me. Let's take a look at a few of the features you're going to be required to use in D2L, and we'll compare those to what you're using in MyPsychLab. And last but not least, I want us to take a look at a sample discussion post so that you know what's required of you. All right, so you know that this is our welcome. Attached to the right-hand side, you can get to this by clicking on Calendar, or right over here on the calendar, you will see some of the various assignments featured in your schedule of instruction. They will be marked over here on the calendar, so you can see that upon login, you know what's due. Course content at the time of this video was empty. I'm sure that you can now see content posted here, but I will have course information for you here, such as your syllabus, your schedules of instruction, your MyPsychLab registration handout, and I may even find a few extra resources for you to utilize per chapter as we move through the semester together. So keep an eye on your course content, as I could be adding new things that could be learning tools and resources for you here. But always keep an eye on your syllabus and your schedule. Those are your lifelines to this course, and I'll show you a few things here in just a moment. Announcements we've been to, you can get through that you can get to that through Course Home or Announcements. Same thing for Calendar. It shows up on the home page, or you can click here. We'll be talking about attendance in the syllabus. You can check the attendance policy there. We probably will not be using the assignments. This is what we used to call the D2L Dropbox. I don't foresee that we will be using the assignments feature this semester, but if so, this is where that will happen. At any time, you can check how you're doing in this class by clicking on Grades. I do make every effort to be quick about grading your discussion posts and posting things in real time as I can. So as you take an exam in D2L, for instance, that grade will post immediately. As you take a chapter exam in my Psych Lab, that will post immediately within my Psych Lab. So some things pop up in real time. Otherwise, I'm working hard to grade those discussion posts so that you have timely feedback. You'll probably notice that in our welcome announcement, you saw a Getting Started checklist. You can click on Checklist here or through the live link in our announcement. That Getting Started checklist is just designed to get you oriented to this course, and you get 5 bonus points for completing the checklist. I cannot tell you how much that will help your grade in the long run. Please, please, please take advantage of the checklist. It's a required assignment, and you're getting 5 bonus points for completing it. As I said earlier, your class list is a way for you to see your classmates. You can send private messages there. You're going to be using your discussion thread to communicate through weekly discussion posts. Let me make sure to tell you this is going to look a little different. It looks a little different than at the time of this recording. You'll notice that now when you click on discussion posts, you have a checklist within each of your discussion posts so that you know what you need to do before you click submit. And how I got mine to submit, if you've never done this before, you click on the thread and then you start a new thread. You can type in your discussion post and then you can post it. Once you've posted it, it's out there. So if you need to add anything else to it or fix an error, you'll need to start a new thread and add something or fix the mistake you made. You can't go back and edit a post once it's done, so you'll have to start a new thread. So you'll notice that yours looks a little different now than it does in this recording, but you'll have a checklist to remind you and you'll have detailed instructions so that should you forget what you're doing, you have a reminder there. Quizzes is going to be a big feature. You have 8 exams in this course, and this is where you will click to take those exams. I just want to say with these exams, they are timed. You have, I think it is, let's check your syllabus. I always hate guessing because I always guess wrong. But if we look at your syllabus, I always have my syllabus handy. You have 8 of these exams that are 25 multiple choice questions. You have 30 minutes to answer these questions. I assure you that that is enough time to get this done, but you need to be prepared. You will need to have read your chapters, communicated with classmates through discussion posts. You need to be ready when you come in here to take an exam. And just as we said, once you click on an exam here, your 30 minutes starts, so be sure that you are ready to sit down and complete this exam from the moment you open it. These are the features you'll need to know about within D2L. You've got Email Me right up here. You can create your profile by clicking on Profile where you see your name. You've got a calendar here. You've got a message board here that I'll use all semester. And you can even click on this box down here for help if you need help with D2L. Let's now transition over to My Psych Lab. This is what you'll see upon login, and you'll need to update your browser and sync your time zone. This way you're in the same time zone as me for submitting assignments, and updating your browser just means that you're making sure that you have the proper software and programs for My Psych Lab to function properly. It will not ask you to download something that's going to cost you. Anything that you need to download for My Psych Lab to operate properly is free. So those are 2 things you need to do immediately upon logging into My Psych Lab. Your lifeline in My Psych Lab is your assignment calendar. It shows you every chapter exam you have due for the whole semester. They show up as little alarm clocks on the calendar, and they turn red when they're past due. No late work is accepted in this course, not for My Psych Lab and not for D2L. Everything is laid out for you for the whole semester, so there's no late work accepted in this course. And I'll show you that here in just a second. As a matter of fact, let's look at it now. Let's go back to D2L and look at your content. And you notice that you have a schedule of instruction here. I have color-coded your schedule of instruction so that it's very easy to tell what's due where. So I'm going to download this to make it a little bit easier to see. Here we go. And I'll open this up. I always recommend downloading a document first if you're going to print it or look at it a lot. It makes it easier for viewing. All right, so here is the schedule of instruction. You'll notice at the bottom you have a color key. Anything in purple means you have an item due in MyPsychLab, and that's here. That's where we are looking at your assignment calendar. Any items in blue are due in D2L, and that's over here. So that would either be an exam or a discussion post. Anything in red, you have 2 chapters, I think that's 2 chapters, that you'll need to access through MyPsychLab, so look for that little red asterisk. And that means that you'll need to access that through the e-text in MyPsychLab. So if you bought a hardbound textbook in our bookstore because you like to have a book in your hands, it has been customized and is missing 2 chapters. We cover all 15 chapters in this course. So those are 2 chapters. If you have a hardbound book from our bookstore, you'll be missing those 2 chapters. So you'll need to access those in the e-text within MyPsychLab. So that's what your schedule looks like. All right, let's go back here. In MyPsychLab, we have an assignment calendar so you can clearly see chapter exams. Those are the assignments you'll be completing for points in MyPsychLab are the chapter exams. Now what's different about these, and you can start it from here, you can say open and start the chapter exam. These are practice exams to help you get ready to take the exams in D2L. These exams here in MyPsychLab are not timed. And you can take them an unlimited number of times. Here's why. I'm asking you to reach a minimum score of 70%. A higher score is appreciated and expected. These are not completion credits, they are mastery assignments, showing me that you have mastered the material. So I'm allowing you multiple attempts to get to that minimum score of 70%, and they're not timed. Practice with these exams here in MyPsychLab before you get into D2L to take the exams that are timed, and you can only take the exams in D2L 1 time. So we give you an opportunity to practice here. Some other things that you might notice, you can also have the e-text read to you. You can listen to it. You would do that here. Things in MyPsychLab that are large, like the e-text or the flashcards that we're going to look at, they do take a little while to load, so you'll want to be patient. There are simulations that MyPsychLab offers where you can kind of play along as a participant. There's a video series, and once you get into the video series, there's a video or multiple videos by topic that matches up with your chapters in the textbook. So you'll see several different videos that you can engage in here. This is great for visual and auditory learners. Also, if we go back up here, we saw a tab with student resources. This is a great place to go. There are flashcards. There's a 3D brain. You can work with a 3D model of the brain that will help you with Chapter 2, the biological perspective. And as you're working on your discussion posts, if you are looking for some other website to quote other than your textbook, these are 2 places to check for additional information on a topic you could be writing about in your discussion post. Let me just say that Wikipedia is not an appropriate source for citing in your discussion posts, and if you choose to go ahead and use Wikipedia anyway, it's an automatic grade of 0. So here's 2 professional and reputable websites you can use if you want to reference something other than your textbook for a discussion post. The last thing I want to show you in MyPsychLab is the flashcards, and it takes a little while to download, so I've already opened them up. They are over here. So you can select cards. You'll notice I've got 800 cards right here. I can select the ones I want by chapter and narrow that down. I can also search the glossary for a particular vocabulary word, or I can quiz myself. You can also export these to your mobile phone within a few simple steps. So MyPsychLab has a lot to offer, and I think it's a very helpful resource given that we don't meet face-to-face in the classroom. So your assignment calendar is your lifeline, and this is your chance to practice with these exams before taking the exam in D2L. One other thing I want to show you is a discussion post. This is my welcome discussion post for the expectations and such. 2 things that are required for every discussion post. You see here that I have a reference entry, and I also need to, within my text, I need to cite. So for you guys, you'll always be citing Ciccarelli and White, comma, 2014, period on the outside. It's a good idea to cite at least a few times in your post. And I'll show you where I found that information. It's in our course syllabus. If you look on the front page of the syllabus, I have listed the textbook information. If you were to copy and paste this, that's your reference entry for referencing the textbook in a discussion post. And then you simply use Cicerelli and White and the year as an in-text citation. So that's required